Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and I just got another issue of the LEGO Ninjago Legacy Magazine. Now, the Ninjago Legacy Magazine is not one I typically cover on my channel, because it's slightly more expensive than the normal magazine, and normally it doesn't have minifigures that I'm all too interested in, because it normally comes with generic Legacy ninja suits, as well as generic Legacy villains, and all those guys are very common in sets, so I just thought it wasn't worth paying the price it costs for the magazine. But this month they had something interesting. They had the Legacy Overlord that came in the Overlord Dragon last year. Now, that guy only came in that one set, so I'm like, okay, I'd like to get a second of him, and it would be fun to take a look at this magazine again on the channel. So I decided to order an issue. However, the thing is I didn't realize is that this month's magazine actually came with a bonus 2 minifigures. Now, if you guys are familiar with LEGO magazines, every now and then they'll come with a bonus like poly bag, and that's when they have like extra stock in the warehouse of magazines that didn't sell. They'll tape an old magazine promo on with the newer promo to include 2 on 1 magazine. And normally that just means 1 extra minifigure in like the normal Ninjago magazine, but for the Legacy magazine, since it normally comes with 2 minifigures, you get an extra 2. Now, what this second pack is will be different depending on what store you buy this magazine at. You'll always get these 2 figures, but these 2 may vary. They could be the same as me, could be different from me. But in my case, I got a Legacy Lloyd and a Stone Warrior, and then the ones that actually come with this magazine, as I mentioned, with the Overlord as well as Core Lloyd. So 2 Lloyds is a little bit lame, but the Stone Warrior and the Overlord actually complement each other really well. I don't even think the Stone Warrior is on shelves anymore, so it's very cool to get another one of him. But anyway, with all that long exposition out of the way, we will take a look at the minifigures themselves at the end of this video. For now, let's take them off and take a look at the magazine itself. Now, if you watch my reviews of the normal Ninjago magazines, I will be going through this magazine probably a little bit quicker, because if I remember correctly, the Legacy magazines tended to be targeted more towards a younger audience, and because there isn't like little plot details about the show hidden inside, it's more about stuff that happened in the past. There just wasn't as much I found interesting, so it may be a bit of a shorter video, at least on the magazine review side. But anyway, yeah, let's get into it. We do still have a comic in this magazine. We have the Ninja Battle Master Yang, about, what, 6 years late on that one. Advertisement for the minifigures that it comes with. Yeah, let's get this thing open. Okay, what? What? So, okay, let me get this straight. So, the normal Ninjago magazine, okay, has an advertisement for Core and Legacy on the first page. But the Legacy magazine has an advertisement for Crystallize on the first page. Shouldn't those 2 be swapped around? Now, you might be thinking, oh, they're just trying to advertise the opposite of what magazine they are. But no, because the normal magazine only started promoting Core earlier this year. They used to just do whatever the most recent season was. Or actually, whatever the previous season was. Like, they were advertising Master of the Mountain when Seabound came out. So it's weird that this one updated to Crystallized, and the actual Ninjago magazine hasn't, even though that is a Crystallized magazine. Very interesting, but alright. Table of contents right here. Oh, alright, right. I forgot we get right into the comic here. Okay, let's see what's going on in this comic. So as always, I will not be reading the entire comic to you guys, but if you want to pause the video and read it for yourself, feel free. But anyway, yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so it looks like this is supposed to take place between seasons 2 and 3. Zane's titanium for some reason because they're using the core suits, but that's alright. This comic's not meant to be very canon. Okay, the Overlord's back. He revived himself in the sewers and he possesses Mother Doomsday. Interesting. Nia's here for some reason. Yeah, I don't think they realized they were just reusing figures from the Ninjago City Gardens. I don't think they realized this one was Nia, because she's not drawn like she's supposed to be Nia, but that is Nia. Okay, so Mother Doomsday, possessed by the Overlord, is using dark matter in the comics to possess the civilians. By the way, I like that the ninjas' headbands match the color of their core suits. That'd be really cool to get as like actual physical pieces next year. Then we have a coloring page where the ninja are fighting a bunch of Garmadons. This magazine's awesome. Like, this is just randomly in the middle of the comic. There's a million Garmadons. You know what? Maybe I will start buying the Legacy magazine more often. This is great. Okay, there's a giant Overlord mech that's made of, like, cars and stuff. Okay, back to non-canon. Nia's here, and she's a ninja, but she's also in the Samurai X mech as a ninja. Alright. Alright, and they defeat the Overlord, and Mother Doomsday is no longer possessed. Wow, incredible. Is that the end of the comic? Is that the end of the comic? No, this is the end of the comic. Yep, I told you, they did not intend for that to be Nia, because Nia's also right here. They just used the Nia minifigure as a generic civilian. That's awesome. Alright, yeah, it's a cute comic. It reminds me, like, this reminds me of a kid playing with their toy, where there's a lot that doesn't make sense, does not fit in the canon, but it's fun and it's goofy. So you know what, for a very young target audience, I think that's an alright comic, even if it makes literally no sense. The idea of the Overlord possessing Mother Doomsday and them defeating him again is genuinely a very fun concept. Like, it would be very silly and out of place in the actual show, but for a non-canon comic, I do think it's a fun idea to explore. And then we have the posters, it looks like, right here. Yeah, okay, so let's remove this. So the first poster is a dual Kai versus Boa Destructor. Now that's interesting because that's Geo Whipper with Mango Whipper's head. I believe that was a minifigure in a previous Legacy magazine, but that's interesting that in a different Legacy magazine that's still featured on a poster. And then the opposite side is a checklist for all of the different minifigures that come in the core sets. Okay, that's actually awesome. That's something that LEGO used to do a lot back in the day, and I'd actually like to see that in the normal Ninjago magazines too. Because obviously core doesn't have like that many different variants of minifigures, but the checklist idea was fun. I remember having LEGO checklists like this when I was a kid that I would actually check off, so I'd like to see that more often. That's a very fun idea. I'm glad they included that. Alright, this is a counting game, alright. That Geo Whipper render is very fun though, I like him. This is a Match the Pieces game. This is a bio page on the Overlord that comes in this magazine. A history of the Overlord. That's pretty cool, I guess, to get kids caught up, but they haven't seen the entire show. These renders are so uncanny. I'm not a fan of the Ninjago City Gardens renders, but that render's awesome. Also, Lloyd is a ghost. Alright. This is really uncanny. It's the Day of the Departed poster, but like the villains are all moved around. That's strange. I didn't expect to see that. Like Yang's actually front and center here, because in the original Pythor was more front and center, while Yang's kind of like up here. And then the ninja on the cliff are no longer there. Instead, it's replaced by a render of Wu. And then Pythor was moved all the way to the back. That's very interesting. But yeah, this is just a, hey, remember Day of the Departed type page? Well, that's wacky just to see them mix everything around. I was not expecting that. Alright, yeah, it's literally just a refresh on Day of the Departed. It's just giving you all the information about that wave. Then you have an advertisement for the LEGO City magazine. That actually looks pretty cool. Looks like you have both a minifigure and a little build in that magazine. Then on the next page, what the heck is going on here? Alright, so this looks like it's both a story and a game and an advertisement for the dojo set. Oh, both dojo sets, the Ninja Trading Center and the Ninja Dojo Temple. That's pretty fun. I like how they tie the advertisements into a little game. Then let's turn the page again, and we have some sort of game going on here. Yeah, it's just a unique board game. That's actually kind of fun and very complex. That's really cool to include that here. And then finally, the last page, we have an advertisement for next month's magazine. Whew, wow, those are some lame minifigures. Sometimes, like the last time I got this magazine, I'm like, why don't I get these more often? You know, like it's fun to take a look at the Legacy magazines too. But that's exactly why I don't have a subscription to this magazine, because what the heck is that minifigure selection? Core J, which not only is a super common minifigure, but also has already come in Ninjago magazine, and then a Legacy Ninja that doesn't even have a mask. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see me take a look at that magazine when it comes out, but just based on those minifigures, I'm just not that interested. But if there's demand, I'll do it, because I mean, it's another video I can make. And then you have a giant Cole face you can cut out, or a J face on the other side. But yeah, that's about it for the magazine. Less kiddie than I remembered. Obviously, the comic itself is very kiddie, but the activities seem to be about the same as the normal magazine. But of course, that's on it for this video. We have a total of 4 minifigures to take a look at, so let's get them opened up. Alright, so I'll start with the 2 minifigures that you're guaranteed to get with the magazine, the 2 ones that are meant to be included with the magazine, and that is Core Lloyd and the Overlord. Now, Core Lloyd, not going to spend super long on, because I reviewed this figure probably like 20 times on this channel. But in short, love the lime on him, but I feel like there's way too many shades of green used. Olive, lime, dark green, light green, so many different things going on. Just feels like an assault in the eyes. I wish they just stuck with the lime as the overall color. But all that being said, I don't think it's terrible. I still think there's a lot to like here, because there is a lot of cool elements. It just feels like a lot all at once. So it's a good minifigure, but in terms of being a magazine promo, it's nothing all too special, because he literally comes in a $10 set and a $30 set. And there's many other ways to get this figure, so yeah, this guy's nothing all too special to get, but he's an alright one to have, I guess, and I guess he fits with the Overlord. The Overlord himself, however, is a genuinely fantastic minifigure. Now, this guy only came in one set, the Overlord Dragon, last year, and that's a set that was pretty hard to get for a long time, and it seems like it's back in stock in most places now. But if you want a significantly cheaper way to get this minifigure, well, then this magazine's a nice way to do it. The only difference is he does not have his armor, but I don't believe that armor piece was exclusive, and also the helmet never really connected well with that armor piece, so this way his helmet actually stays on, which is nice. The torso print's really detailed, like lots of little intricate lines. I love just like the purple abyss in his chest, very ominous feel. Then he's got like the Overlord symbol at the top, and then turning around you can see his back torso print, where he's got like this purple smoke coming out the back, and then like this skeletal golden design coming down. Genuinely such a cool minifigure, one I'm very happy to get a second of, and that's the main reason I bought this magazine, is because I wanted a second of this guy. And taking the helmets and masks off these guys, there's the face prints. A super creepy face in the Overlord. Not show accurate at all, but just genuinely spooky. I like that a lot. And then turning them around, there's Lloyd's alternate face, as well as the Overlord symbol on the back of his head. Yeah, the Overlord's a super great minifigure to get, and Lloyd's nothing all too special, especially because he does not come with his armor. However, considering most magazines only come with 1 or even 0 minifigures, getting 2 figures here is nice, so it doesn't matter if one of them's not all too special. And if for whatever reason you don't have Core Lloyd, this is a nice way to get him. Like, I think it's great for kids who don't have that much LEGO. If they just get this magazine, they have a good guy and a bad guy. That's genuinely awesome to me. And then for the 2 bonus figures that come in the magazine, we have have a Legacy Lloyd and a Stone Warrior. Now, Legacy Lloyd I think is significantly better than Core Lloyd in terms of just like an exclusive minifigure. Now, Legacy Lloyd did come in a few sets, however, he's probably the second least common Legacy figure. By that I mean Nia is the only one that comes in less sets than him. And also, if you didn't get a spinner in 2019, he only came in expensive sets. So it is cool to get him in a cheap way, even if I do already have quite a few of this guy. And I also think it's like fairly good looking suit. Legacy suits are not some of my favorites, but I think Lloyd's is one of the best. It was the first suit to use like this new hood design. I think it works really well here. Love the golden dragon that swirls around his torso too. Genuinely just like a nice figure. Very simple all around, nothing too special going on. But simple definitely does not mean bad. And I think the designers did a fairly good job. And it's actually cool to get this guy in 2022. Because yeah, this is a figure from 2019. The torso is still in the Ninjago City Gardens, but the rest of this guy I'm pretty sure is just retired at this point. So it's cool to have a way to get him again. And then the Stone Warrior is pretty good as well. I've always been a fan of Legacy Stone Warriors. Not a huge fan of the armor piece. I wish they kept with their original armor piece because this is just less interesting. It is a good part though, just not on these guys. But the yellow face markings are really good and pretty show accurate. And while the torso and legs aren't entirely show accurate, they're way more detailed than the original Stone Warrior design, so it's cool to see that upgrade. And they do look really good and fit the whole Stone Warrior vibe. Like if you combine these guys with the originals, they won't feel out of place, they'll just feel like a different type of Stone Warrior. They got the red straw hats at the top too. And then turning around, you can see his back torso print where he's got more of that armor. And as a bonus figure for this magazine, I think this guy goes really well with the Overlord. Again, if you're a kid with not that much LEGO and you go and buy this magazine, you have two good guys, albeit they are the same good guy, as well as a bad guy and the bad guy's minion. I feel like there's a lot to play with there. And then real quick, if you're curious, same exact face print on Lloyd, and there's a full look of that back torso print as well as the alternate face. But yeah, as far as bonus figures that I was not expecting to go, these are two I'm very happy with. So overall, would I recommend this magazine? I mean, it's goofy, it's fun. I think if you don't have this Overlord figure, or if you do want a second, sure, pick it up. I think it's good to have. The core Lloyd figure is basically nothing. But on the other hand, if you're a kid or you know a kid that doesn't have that much LEGO at all but is a very big fan of Ninjago, this could be a good one to pick up just to be like, here's your little starter set. So yeah, I think it's a solid magazine. The activities are goofy, some of them are very silly, but there is some quality ones in there, such as that board game. The posters I was pretty happy with too, and the comic was ridiculous and definitely not canon, but it was fun, and again, I felt like that sense of like childlike imagination in there. And while I do prefer canon comics, that was fun to see too. So would I recommend this magazine? Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, but if you're interested and you like what you saw, sure, pick it up. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this magazine in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please just like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do LEGO and Ninjago videos just like this one almost every day, so if you subscribe, be the first to see them. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!